Welcome to the grand finals for the Japan Championship 2026. We're going to go ahead and see a Purulia meeting an abrupt Ash here at the beginning of this game, which is good. We're going to go ahead and see our first normal summon touching down here, which is going to be read by the opponent. I gotta love when Tri-Brigade cards are getting read. Alright, and we are going to go ahead and see some Tri-Brigade support actually touching down here as well. Alright, so we're just going to go ahead and actually start off combo here. Is the opponent... no, we're just getting to resolve this. Well, that's about as free as it's going to get. We'll go ahead and get a free Nerval pulled out of the deck here, which just means, you know, we start to get free access into the funny haha things, especially having access to a Link 2 here, which just bridges us into the Toon part of our deck, which is actually, I think, one of the cooler things that this deck had. And obviously, the opponent would have been drawing a lot of cards if we didn't Ash this Purulia. So we will go ahead and see a search coming down here. I'm going to go ahead and get a free Fractal pulled out here. Alright, going ahead and showing our opponent our extra piece here, just so that they know. And then we get to go ahead and dump down 2 here. We get a free Nerval pulled back up into rotation, which is good. We see Fractal getting dumped down here, and the opponent confirming, hey look, a Chimera is going to be a funny little card to be able to use here in a second. Alright, we're going to go ahead and actually, I'm going to banish 4 already. Because we're going to go ahead and banish 4. That way we can get Shurag loaded on up here. Because that does... Oh, we're going to get impermed. Ugh. That's a rough place to be. But, I mean, understandably so. I mean, that's probably the best value that you could actually get off of this. Because, you know, your opponent loses 4 things from their graveyard. Now cuts them off of that. Now they have to go ahead and make a Link play for the Rinbroom. Which, I mean, this also can do things. Pitching 2. We're losing a Max C off of that. That's big. But it does get a body back into rotation. Do they have something to cut this off? That'd be... Oh my god, they have a second Imperm? Holy spaghetti! That's crazy! Yo! The hand traps here are insane. We see the set 1. Alright. Well, now we get to watch Toons do Toon things. Go ahead and get the Mind Scan into play to peek the opponent's hand. Alright. Which we are seeing as a Toon Terror. And then we see the concession. Ugh, game 2. Well then, that was just a lot of hand traps. So now we get to see the Toon part of our opponent's deck actually touching down on the table here, which I think will help us out here. We're going to go ahead and Evil Box here. Actually, starting off with the Evil Box is kind of impressive to go ahead and get the negate into play here. We'll go ahead and see the Ghost Ogre on the field spell, which is a little bit rough, but we go ahead and have attack talents here. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the opponent's hand. They have double Imperm again. I mean, you rip this bookmark from your opponent's hand every single time. There's not even like a call for this. You rip the bookmark, because that means your opponent does a whole lot better here, and we want that consistency. We want to be able to, you know, make sure our deck is good. We do see a 1-for-1. It's actually kind of cool this deck does get to play 1-for-1 though, because you're already playing Tri-Brigade cards in the deck, so this is kind of just like a natural overlay of synergy. Plus this is a beast monster as it is, so it's not like you can't, you know, lone fire into a better piece along the way, and then just kind of be like, all right, well, you know, we've got the pieces, you know, we can kind of keep the Congo line going of control, and it just kind of works out very, very beautifully for you, which is what you want. We're going to go ahead and see an Imperm here, which we know the opponent has 2 cards. We'll go ahead and see the Evil Box tuck back our good card, and then we see the opponent ending on Valor Imperm, and then 1 unknown. That unknown has to be some gas, or, you know, it's going to be a problem. Obviously, any Toon starter can potentially bridge them into a way to play the game, but we do have a Toon Terror set. I mean, a Toon Terror is not exactly super live right now, but I really don't know. We also have our Comic Hand live, which is going to be a problem for the opponent here as well, because we can just, well, I mean, we can only do it on ours, but still, it can turn into more problematic things. Do we have anything in our hand on the right? I don't think we have anything really left to work with here. And we know we have another turn of eating 2 more, you know, potentially. Oh, they're going to go ahead and hand trap. They're going to go at normal Valor. They're going to make Anima. Oh, that's pretty good. It's interesting. That's not the play line I expected to see, but it does get technically the Bakuri box eaten up. And then, of course, you did see the chain there, which goes ahead and gets our... Oh, they actually got over everything battle. Okay. Interesting. So we have... Well, we have the unknown that we drew, because we had to imperm, and then we go ahead and get a Fractal off of the top, which is probably one of the best things we could have. Here comes a Nerval. All right. Go ahead and trigger the Nerval to get the... What are we going to do with this Nerval? We're going to get the Spriggan's Kit, or the Tri-Brigade Spriggan's Kit into rotation here, which should give us a play line here, which, unless our opponent has another Veiler off of the top, we're going to see the Banish 2 here. All right, yep, we're going to go ahead and Banish 2. Do you top deck the Veiler? Are you of the best of the Yu-Gi-Oh series? Looks like they are out of hand traps. That's interesting. Well then, so we just have to beat over an Anima that's equipped with our Valkyrie box, which realistically, is that even going to be much of a problem here, considering the fact that Tri-Brigade just makes... Oh, double Dragon Lords. That's a pretty cool card too. Could we double Dragon Lords, bounce the equip, and then do some funny things with that? That would be to get the evil box back onto our side of the field. Oh, we're going to go ahead and rip their card. All right. We'll go ahead, and I see the bouncing here. Hey, look, free evil box. I like those odds. All right. We're going to make an Anima, or we're going to make an Almirage co-linked on the Anima. And we get a Nerval back into rotation here. What is this weird co-linking? Charmy Link, or Yummy Link 1 plus our Nerval goes ahead. Oh no, we're not using those yet. Why are we... These link arrows are very, very weird, man. It's these weird situations that we see in these games that are always hilarious to see, because they're the little things you never think about, right? Like the Almirage giving the extra co-link for the protection, from the hand traps, but also, you're getting this emphasis of mid-game play here for things that, you might not normally get to make, which is a little bit hilarious, to say the least. But all right, so we've gone ahead, just consulting everything here. We'll go ahead and crash the Yummy over the Anima. Oh, what is this field? And then we see the opponent drawing for 1 for turn here. They are, they have to try to do something here. I know, they see the concession. Oh my god, the Yummy Link 1 won the game. Well, game 3, we finally get to see pure Toons starting off here. And they're going to start off with the Comic Hand. Probably arguably one of the worst starters that you can have, but are we going to do something to this? Or are we just going to let this... Oh, we're going to go ahead and Gamma it. Do you have an Ash? Nope, the Gamma goes ahead and resolves, which gets a driver beamed out, which is, the reason why you choose to play this hand trap package in the first place is for the control side of this, right? Like, now you've cut your opponent off of probably one of the more impactful plays. Ooh, they have attack talents. They're going to go ahead and take the draw 2 here. That's interesting. All right, they're going to go ahead and remove 3 from their extra deck to get Field Spell, which, all right, that's why you choose to play that. Terraforming 2 is a pretty good card in this deck. It does allow you some... pretty big access to major play lines, and for that we do actually thank you. It helps out this deck actually with the big plays, and that's actually really, really good. All right, so we are going to go ahead. We're going to grab the Mind Scan Enabler here. I think we are. Here comes the Mind Scan Enabler. All right, go ahead. Oh, we're going to see a Max C here. They were trying to do the discard add back special. Okay, so we do get a draw off of the Max C with that, which does help out a lot for this. We're going to go ahead and see a set. All right. Actually seeing Toons playing back row. What a strange concept. But they probably bored in things. So we're going to go ahead and see Vidos coming down here. Go ahead and giving the opponent that, ripping off their field spell. This does technically give them a play now to work with. But it'd just be a link to. All right, so Gamma's getting cleaned up here during the end phase. We don't get to keep those free bodies, even though that would have been hilarious. All right, so what does Toons set? That is so important. We'll go ahead and play our own Toon field spell here. All right, do we have something to do with this? Do we have the good Toon card to stop this? Because if we had Toon Terror, this would have been an amazing place to flip it and actually cut the opponent off. because, you know, no extra searching would be massive. All right, and we have to start with our own comic hand. Well, that's interesting. I love fuel for the comic hand on the comic hand play. Well, this is still 3 active back row from the opponent. We have our own comic hand here. I mean, there has to be something. Ooh, a warning. Okay, so that takes the normal summon's now been used. Obviously, he's playing Tri-Brigade, so, you know, having 9,000 extra extenders is kind of what this deck wants to do in terms of things. You are going to go ahead and, I think, see our field spell resolving here to search. We're going to grab the Mind Scanner. We're going to grab the extender play here. Okay, we're going to go ahead and grab the Illusionist Faceless. You can pitch it to also extend, but now we're going to go ahead and see our comic hand getting our evil box into rotation. The box just loves to do that little interaction. I think that's the fun part about the card. You know, getting that that interaction's pretty good. I love Graveyard Control. All right, we're going to go ahead and see. So this is a Gordian Slicer. Are we going to bounce back our Vidos for banishing of 6? That's potentially interesting. All right, just confirming what Gordian Slicer in fact does. In fact, tears up this field at a trade-off of potentially some big extra deck loss here. The Gordian Slicer also, it's a really cool tech card that you get to play with this matchup because Mind Scan can't actually interact with it to negate it because it cannot be negated, which is hilarious. Well, what are we doing here? All right, we're going to go ahead and get our Vidos back into rotation here. Sacrificing a good chunk of extra deck, and we're going to lose 1 from the hand. Oh, okay, yep. That's a big loss. Leaving 3 cards in the extra deck is crazy, but, you know, this can potentially get us places here. As long as we get a free bookmark out of this. All right, we'll go ahead and see the bunny coming down here and being added. What more back row can our opponent actually have here to, you know, ruin our day? Because this game is just beginning. All right, we see the pass. All right, and we know we have a Vidos to deal with here. So, you know, beaming out a field spell with a rabbit is going to be problematic. And also, we know that we're playing against pure Toons. So whatever emphasis that they're going to try to put on these fields, you know, for their build-up might not be the most impressive for the bunch here. At least, you know, for their setup. So, consulting the Oracle here of what our plays are going to do. Because we do know for a fact that we have to deal with Vidos. If this Vidos sees a field spell, we're going to have problems. But I don't know. Like, what do you do in Pure Toons? Oh, we have a Toon table to search. Okay, that's a start. We'll go ahead and get a bookmark, which gets us a protection layered down, which is fine. Do we just grab Evil Blocks? Oh, no, we're going to go ahead and grab Rabbit. All right. We're going to go ahead and get Veilored on the Rabbit. We're going to go ahead and extend down the Rabbit, or the hand, to go ahead and attribute for the Rabbit, which goes ahead and gets us Field Spell. This gets us a Vidos handed to us now, too, which this might be what they want. The fact that the Bikuri box also got to extend down here is really good. We also have the whole extra deck play line, I think, just now unlocked. Especially we have the Illusionist Faceless Mage here to extend back the Rabbit. All right, so now we can just go ahead and start unlocking the extra deck here. Here comes the Anima, and then we're going to go ahead and link 2 on up here. Go ahead and see the Revive here. All right, Reproducus, convert into Link. Make the Protect code, see the Revive, climb up into Firewall shenanigans now with the funny stuff. All right, here comes Firewall. We'll go ahead and see the banishing of the 3 for the Protect code talker. All right, now we've unlocked the extra deck. I think this is just OTK, which is kind of sad, actually. Yeah, and we see the concession. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.